My name is Leonora Placks and I'm a Director of Professional Services for Guidance Software in the EMEA region. Guidance Software is considered to be the world leaders in digital investigations. Traditionally, managing your data and adhering to any sort of protection or data protection laws was quite simple because you knew your data was kept in your data center and you knew exactly where it was. Moving to the cloud makes this really complex. You now have to seriously consider data privacy laws, and if you in Europe, that is European data privacy laws. You have to make sure that even if your data is not held within Europe, whether it's the US or anywhere else in the world, it has to adhere to data privacy laws applicable to Europe. An example of this would be if you're a French company and you ask for someone to hold your data in the cloud and they are US based, that US based company has to adhere to European data privacy laws regardless of whether they have any infrastructure or presence within France. We've definitely seen a trend whereby moving to the cloud, in-house legal or external legal counsel needs to be much more involved when organizations consider moving their data to the cloud. That is really to make sure that organizations, as well as their service provider, have a communal understanding of the policies, the guidelines, the SLAs that everyone has to adhere to. Legal really need to make sure that the legal rights of both parties are defined quite clearly and that the service provider is quite aware of how and when they need to react to any sort of litigation or digital investigation and how the data would be presented to the organization. In the past, when conducting a digital investigation or litigation, it would be quite simple to gather the data of a user. You would quite simply either image the hard drive or a USB key. With moving to more complex systems like the cloud, it makes an investigation or litigation quite challenging in that you no longer have control over what consumers actually add to your network and can copy data to or use on a daily basis. You really have much less control. And so when you actually look at a litigation or investigation, you have to make sure that you're quite aware of all these different technologies that your users can use and are actually using. And it's not really just Dropbox that complicates this. It's really any other new technology, for example, iPads. iPads allow users to connect to their local networks, and IT administrators may not always be aware of this. So when it comes to any sort of investigation, it's quite daunting for IT managers to be very sure of all the different devices and cloud applications that the users could be using.